Setsumetsu Evolution.
Hey guys, it's Arm here. Today I'll be bringing you some discussions for the VR for V-BT10, which is from the Phantom Dragon Aeon set. So the first VR that we're gonna discuss is Evil Governor Darkface Gridor. So her skill is once per turn, countless 1. You select 2 rear guards that doesn't have any cradle marker on it. You may put cradle marker on it, basically. And second skill is when it attacks, retire a rear guard, call up to 1 grade 3, and if you call that turn, that unit and this unit, which is Gridora herself, gains 10k power. So this cradle mechanic is very interesting, I would say. It's like lock, but it pluses, and it's permanent, but it's not broken at the same time, which is pretty great. Unlike lock, it's pretty broken. Most of the cards that creates cradle marker, except for Gridora and that grade 1 Cap Boy, is pretty free. Even the cards that utilizes cradle marker most of them are free. One potential combo that you will probably gonna see when facing Gridora is the Gridora player has full rear guards in the front, so they swing, then they swing again with another rear guard, so then Gridora swings, then her second skill will activate. She'll call that grade 3, maybe a Hell Demise or maybe End Lion, depending. So if it's Hell Demise, Hell Demise will plus 10, Gridora herself will plus 10, and Hell Demise will stun 1 rear guard. So with that they generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks, multi-attacking. Hey, it's pretty common nowadays. If it's End Lion, it's gonna be minimum 32k. So the second VR is Phantom Blaster Overlord. Hey, we're finally completing the trio, so we have like DN, MLB, and now we finally have Phantom Blaster Overlord. So his first skill is continuous on Vanguard. During your turn, if your soul has Phantom Blaster Dragon, this unit gets 10k, and its original critical becomes 2. And its second skill is auto. When it attacks a Vanguard, costs count plus 1, retire any number of rear guards. Your opponent chooses the same amount, and he or she will retire them. And search your deck up to 1 blaster in its card's name and call it to rear guard and get 10k. This is okay, I would say. There's a multi-attacking though. There are a few blasters that are useful in the rear, I guess, unless you play a pure blaster in a shadow deck. I remember there was 8, if I'm not mistaken. There's like Blaster Dagger, Javelin, Rapier, Blaster Dark himself, Blaster X, Phantom Blaster Dragon, Gas Blaster Dragon, and Phantom Blaster Overlord himself. To be honest with you, I prefer Gas Blaster Dragon because it's way more pressuring than this card itself. That's just my opinion. I'm not a shadow main. You can express your opinions down in the comments. For premium, I don't see much potential with this card alone yet, but what I can see that there will be an early Morphesia if you high roll. Do tell us if you see a PBO premium potential. Who knows, it might be better than Claret, but I do prefer Claret though, lol. So the third VR will be my personal card, which is Emperor Dragon Gaia Emperor. So its first skill is continuous on Vanguard circle. During your turn, all of your rearguards with equip gauge gains 5k. If your opponent is grade 3 or higher, they gain 10k instead of the 5k. Then second skill is auto on Vanguard circle. When it attacks, count +1, retire a rear guard, and this unit, which is Gaia, will gain the original power of that unit retired until the end of battle. If your opponent is grade 3, it gets the original crit as well. Alright, as a Tachi main, I'll be brutally honest with you. Gaia is very lackluster. Like, the card is just too fair. For the current meta, like, sure, you can do some setups, but then decks like Sharot and Night Rose will just kill you out of nowhere if you don't get a setup. The support is pretty interesting, but then the card itself is just too fair. Like, we don't want to be fair, we want to be above fair. I know, like, at the same time we don't want to be broken. In standard, it's pretty interesting. Finally we get Gaia, and we finally get a new boss monster that is not Gigarex. And then for premium, you don't have to play this guy because you just want to play 4 Anchor Blader. As for the support cards, well, why would you replace Sweeper, Turbo, Zandalfo, and Robario? Those are just way better cards than the current supports. So the third card will be Exceptional Expertise, Rising Nova. So its first skill is when this unit is placed on Vanguard. So basically when you ride him, you would get Imaginary Gear Force 1 and Force 2 instead of choosing Force 1 or Force 2. And then act on Vanguard circle, Soul +1, choose up to 2 of your grade 3 rear guards, and that unit will gain all of their abilities until the end of turn. This ability only being used by a card with the same card name once a turn, so it's in the main heart once per turn. So Bushiro did say that Spike Brothers is gonna be the masters of the force markers. I expected that they switch force markers in between during the game. So like, first you go force 1, then out of nowhere you go for force 2, something like that. But Bushiroad was like, why choose when you can play both? It's very new. I like that actually. The second skill, well, it's basically Gastille, though the problem with that effect is your deck is gonna be clogged up with grade 3s, and you know, deck building is gonna be more complicated now for spikes, but that's okay. But if the problem with this is if you don't get your grade 3s during that turn, well, he's basically useless. I'm sorry to say that actually. For premium, there's not much to say, I guess. If you play him, if you play the GB8, GG. Now it's pretty, not only it's big, it has a crit also. On the aggro deck, I don't know, I'm not a Spike Brothers player. So the final card will be Drag Hard Luard. So what it does is it's act, skill once per turn on Vanguard circle, retire 2 grade 1 rear guards. You draw a card and choose one of your opponent's rear guard and retire it. The second skill will be also once per turn on Vanguard circle. This ability's cost is reduced by 1 counter blast for each grade 1 in your drop zone. then Countless 3, return 2 normal units from your drop zone into your deck, search up to 1 drag driver Luard and write it as 10 and shuffle your deck. At the end of turn, write a drag heart Luard from your soul as rest. So first of all, let us talk about drag driver Luard. So its first skill is, during your turn, this unit gets 5k for each grade 1 rearguard in your field. Then if you have 2 or more grade 3s in your soul, the original critical of your grade 1 becomes 2. Then its second skill is, when placed, count plus 1, set your deck up to the same number of your Luard card in your soul plus 1. You search for grade 1s with the same number, then you call them to rearguard and shuffle your deck. Yep, basically Luard is the Gear Chronicle card in Shadow Paladin. Boom. So a clan with huge pluses and gain further pluses with a Gear Chronicle mechanic. That's, Bushi, why do you design this? This is basically your field full of steroids, except if you write drag driver instead of drag hard first, which can be a problem. Their early game might have a problem with field nuke, but in their late game, field nuke is nothing to them. A very solid duo with their supports. For premium, maybe with drag hard if you go first, then the stride turn, you ride drag driver, use his count plus 1 ability, and stride either Morfessa or Chain Ranker. I prefer Morfessa, obviously. Yeah. So I guess that's it for V-BT10. I do apologize if I sound a bit rough in this video because I'm a bit sick right now. I'm in a 3-day quarantine. I do hope I myself get well so I can play Vanguard with my friends again. And yeah, overall this set is pretty nice, except for Tachi, it's not pretty nice. Shadow gets good support, Gridora gets very much love, Spike, they gave a Gastille, and Gaia, nah man. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you lovely people will have a good time. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.